Okay, greetings. Hello, Virgo. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship report for February 2018. Okay, so cards were well shuffled in advance, and we're going to go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, flyers, oracles, no reversals. Just going to keep it very, very simple. We're going to use that crucible spread where it's on the understanding that there's you, dear Virgo, significant other, and the third entity, the relationship itself, which has an integrity, identity, and an energy of its own. And in a healthy relationship, both parties are aware of that, and they deliberately choose to work through the relationship rather than, let's say, direct, because the relationship is the crucible, the structure in which it all happens. And a really strong crucible is essential for a healthy, loving relationship, because no matter what, no matter how spiritually evolved you are, or loving, or romantic, or capable, or gorgeous, or whatever, we still intimate and we separate. And there are times when it's harder than others. And we need a safe place, a safe environment, the structure, the crucible, let's say even like the contract of a marriage or something like that, where you have protocols, vows, standards of behavior to which both parties adhere, and you make these decisions accordingly. You don't act unilaterally as you would do it like in a synastry type relationship, okay? Where everything a lot of times just goes on autopilot. This is a chosen relationship, okay? Where both parties are willingly on a daily basis continuing to relate. So, or not. We'll see what happens. So, like the other folks, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Squish it all together. Reinterpret to suit yourself. You know the protocols. Do the cross-watching too if you want to. I'm not going to mention much about the eclipses. I'm going to focus more on Saturn and Capricorn, which is very harmonious for you, Virgo, because it's a trine. It's very comfortable, but it is going through your fifth house of love and relationship. So we're talking about a complete restructuring, remodeling, repurposing of your love life, okay? The way that you express yourself in love and life in this world, about being happy, being joyful, being creative, your creative self-expression. And it's a complete remodel from the ground up, and it's a long journey. It's just started, okay? So that storyline is going to be repeated over the next 3 years. So we might as well just kind of get used to it starting now, okay? So here we go. Also, another thing that I don't see a lot of people mentioning is that we have Neptune in a very long 14-year transit through your seventh house of marriage, seventh house, significant one-on-one relationships. So that brings the energy of idealism and the beauty of wonder of what could be, but it also can be very hard to handle because the shadow side of Neptune is, like the worst things that can happen: betrayal, deception, lies, delusions, disappointment after what might have been something that appeared to be awesome. So we have to allow for that as well, but it's very nebulous. It's very, very hard to put language to it or even understand it. It's just there, it's happening. It's like, how do you hold on to fog, or how do you hold on to something very beautiful when you're talking about the energy of beauty, but you can't actually, let's say, touch it or own it. Anyway, let's get back to the reading itself. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. And the cards are shuffled, and we're going to start now. Here we go. We're going to cut, okay? Angels are here. Tarot Lumination angels are here. Your angels are here too, okay? It's like a team effort. All right, let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. The thing is, Virgo, I know you like things to work. You like what works. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here in your love energy? Well, what's radiating over here in a significant other? What about deep inside of you? Okay, Virgo, what about deep inside the other? And what about the relationship itself? Now, can you see the crucible here? This is the bowl. This is the structure in which we intimate and separate. You could come in very sweet and innocent and then realize, whoa, things aren't what we thought they were. Oops. And then, well, let's go back and capture the good stuff again. Yeah. and then realize, wait a minute, what's going on? So it cycles. It happens to everybody. We intimate, we separate, we intimate and we separate, and we grow and evolve in the process. And we need a safe place to do that. In a healthy relationship, you have a really good structure. The relationship is good and solid, and you work through the relationship. What are the prospects? Where is this all heading? And let's have a look at circumstantial energy. Let's call it the weather. And you, dear Virgo, being so practical and wanting things to work properly, are going to make the best of it. So what we've got is the King of Pentacles. So you might realize that you are in prime, like, this is really good circumstantial energy for, let's say, you to gently, slowly, incrementally, in a very Capricorn, methodical, long-term approach, have a chance to really build sovereignty and structure and stability for yourself in the world of love and relationship and beyond. Not only that, it feels to me like you're going to have the support of this kind of energy around you. Perhaps significant others who are going to play this role of the very supporting mate, the very supporting partner, and also circumstantial energy itself, like this. This could be a very, very strong correlation to Saturn in Capricorn, where Saturn and Capricorn, no matter how tough the challenges might appear to be when you're living through them, are actually working for you, where you can manifest the reality of the kind of relationship that you really, really do want, that you really deserve. And it can't just happen by flipping a magic wand. It takes work, investment, planning, structuring, deconstructing what doesn't work, and rebuilding, repurposing, remodeling with what you have, your resources and materials, to make it work. Let's have a look. What are you radiating? Wow. Okay. So to me, it feels like there's a kind of divine trust thing going on here, where you absolutely know deep in your gut, in the very pit of your soul, that you are guided and protected through this some way, somehow. So no matter how challenging it might appear to be, with Neptune there in the 7th, with Saturn there in the 5th, sure, you could easily paint a very dark, gloomy, cloudy picture with those alignments. But the positive side of it is very positive and supportive. It's talking about building a really beautiful relationship. And you can't just do that from simple three-dimensional, let's say, archaic templates of relationship, but it can only happen through the bigger picture, understanding that there's a bigger purpose and a mission for who you are and what you are on this earth. And that if you can't define it in particular right now, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be guided and protected the whole way, okay? The whole journey. And that there is a higher purpose for whatever challenges you are going to have to endure over these next few years. And even here, just in this little tiny snippet of time called February 2018. And also the other side of this, another way to look at this, is that you might be sensing it very, very deeply in the core of your being right now, that it's almost like almost like a dream come true scenario. Yes, it could be very, very challenging. There could be obstacles, a lot of work to do, but it could be really, really something that you've always wished for, known, like almost since you were born, that something like this could happen. Let's have a look. What about the other? Oh my gosh. Look at this, Virgo. Look at this. This is a little Two of Cups. Wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm just going to show you my scrappy little notes, and I'm just going to put a positive spin on this, Virgo. Okay? Here it is, Saturn in Capricorn in the 5th. This is going to be working for you big time. Neptune in Pisces in your 7th. We're going to put the positive spin on that. We're going to say that Saturn is going to manifest the best possible situation out of this love relationship, because you, Virgo, somehow or other, you got very lucky and you found somebody who loves you very, very deeply, or maybe they found you because they love you very deeply, and this was all guided. This was all, let's almost, you know, it's hard not to use that word fated, but it feels very fated from here as your reader, okay? So this is almost like a divinely ordained relationship, a divinely ordained love relationship that, yes, it might have a tremendous amount of challenges with the Neptune energy, the Saturn energy, but it's worth it because you're operating at the very highest frequencies of love. This is like Neptune energy at the maximum. Like the very highest octave of love, okay, in its purest form. And it's just knowing it. You, Virgo, know it. You know it's there. They know it's there. And all they have to do is just be themselves, okay? So it puts you in a position where you can be yourself and allow these, let's say, slow, incremental shifts and changes to occur, like literally like repurposing, restructuring, remodeling. Think of it as a long-term construction project, like remodeling a home, you know, like on those TV shows. Take that old house, all the good parts of it, salvage all of that, refix all the foundations, do whatever you have to do, and then remodel and rebuild into something really divinely ordained and beautiful. What's going on deep inside of you? Well, you feel like, well, it's about time. It's about time. Maybe you're talking about lifetimes here for you, Virgo. Maybe you've been waiting for this for lifetimes, and now it's showing signs of actually happening, and you're getting what you deserve, and you're starting to get the glimpses. It's still very early in the journey. If we, let's say, correlate this with the journey of Saturn uh, through Capricorn, it's a 3-year journey, you know. So you got time. You got time to figure all this stuff out. Okay. And by the way, when that Saturn journey is over, we're still going to have years left for the Neptune part of the journey. So, you know, you got time, but I am jealous of you, Virgo. I'm very envious of you. Let's have a look. What's going on deep inside of them? Can you see that? They feel like they've scored big time. It's just like, I always knew that. This is how I am anyway. This is how I always was. This is how I always will be. And I don't know why everyone else isn't this way too. But I guess they're not. But anyway, I'm like this. And I'm feeling actually pretty pleased with myself about the whole situation. Because I'm over here and I'm thinking, you know what? It's almost like, this is so cool. It's like almost like looking around them. Wow, you're so cool. You, Virgo, you actually get it. You understand me. You understand the principles of the very highest octaves of love. That's very, very cool. And then Virgo, you can say, well, whew, I'm so glad you showed up, man, or woman, or whoever, excuse me. I'm so glad you showed up because I was beginning to doubt whether this was ever humanly possible in human form to have something so beautifully divine and ordained. This is fantastic. I'm so glad I found you. And then like, well, I'm glad you found me too. That's very cool. So what happens now? It's your reading. And then you kind of go, Tarot Illumination was talking about remodeling and restructuring love and romance, you know, from the ground up. And they kind of go, okay, well, that sounds cool. Yeah, that's great. Let's build the dream, baby. You know, however we do that. Okay. Next. Lord. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. I couldn't stop myself. It feels like a little movie. Let's have a look. Who knows what's happening here? Let's have a look. Whoa. So with the Queen of Wands here, this could be kind of a turn on for you. The whole idea that this is actually even possible on Earth, on planet Earth. This is the stuff you only read about in stories or legends or watch on movies, but it is possible to manifest super high octave love on this planet in this lifetime. And you seem to be perfectly poised, Virgo, for this to happen with the perfect mate with whom this can happen, okay? And they're very pleased about that because that's how they like to be. They like to be loving, they like to be loved. And they love to be appreciated for that and to be part of something so awesome. It's almost like, this is very cool. This is really, really cool. I've been waiting for this a long time myself. Well, me too. Okay, so it's mutual. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's get on with it now, because it's so inspiring. Because when you actually click and you realize, oh my gosh, this is actually possible. It's actually possible. It's very, very inspiring. The whole relationship becomes emblematic of inspiration. It becomes a relationship that speaks for itself, where the relationship is something that has to be acknowledged as something just juicy. Like, it's almost like both of you are looking at like, wow, this is amazing. You know what, dear sweetheart? Oh, no, I don't know what you're going to say. Well, we have an amazing relationship. You are so inspiring to me that it makes me feel like this all the time. No matter how rough things get, no matter how tough it's going to be, how grimy it's going to get with all the remodeling. Well, you know what? I feel the same way. I feel like we have an awesome relationship too, because it makes me feel inspired that finally I have a chance to be me at the levels where I want to be me over here, like this, because I feel happy. I choose to be happy. That's how I like to be. Cool? Yeah, cool, yeah, cool, yeah, woohoo! So it's very, let's say, mutually self-supportive here, where the relationship itself is a glowing inspiration to others. It's one of those relationships where other people, they can't put a finger on it, but when you guys are together, it's just like everybody can feel it, like, oh my gosh, what have they got? What are those people on? What are you taking? What's your prescription? What are your pills, people? And you kind of look at each other and go, well, we've got this. Cool. It's almost like, I'm jealous. Everybody should be jealous. Where does this? Oh my God. Okay, this is a little bit over the top. Frankly, I'm okay. It's a tarot reading. Okay, we can get carried away here if we want to. Okay, I hope you don't mind, Virgo. I'm getting a little bit carried away here. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm jealous. I think it's just beautiful here. This is like divinely ordained. It's divinely inspired. It's divinely inspiring, not just for you and each other, not just for you, Virgo, and the other, but for the world. This is almost like something where the relationship itself becomes this glowing, glowing orb, like a disco ball of love. We've used that analogy before in tarot illumination, and I think that's what it is. It's like this pulsing, radiant thing where the relationship itself has all those ingredients that everyone would want in a loving relationship. Okay, so it isn't all just about, typically relationships are often conducted like this, where none of this is apparent at all in any way, shape, or form. It's just everyone's just relating like this. But in the broader spectrum here, Virgo, we're dealing with something absolutely kind of gorgeous and yummy. This has turned out to be a simple, fast reading, and it's many minutes shorter than the other reports, but frankly, I don't care. I don't want to mess it up by talking much more, because you know how I get sometimes. So let's just put this over here. And then you can wallow in the good fortune here for a little while, at least for February. Put this under your hat. And enjoy this for what it is. Okay, Virgo, I really wish you all the best. I'm so happy for you. And please make the most of it. You can reinterpret this however you want, of course. It's your reading. It's not a couple's reading. Okay, I'm going to stop. I want to keep going and going and going, but I have to stop. It's just so yummy. Wow. Congratulations, Virgo. All the best. Okay? Bye.